Good morning, this is Vicky.
And this is Jo.
And we're the Two Natural Ladies.
And we talk about the good news we all need and ways of getting the most out of life.
We help people with practical, uplifting ways we can all make a difference.
And we're striving for better, not perfect.
And we love a good laugh. Please enjoy the show.
So we've had a really good theme for today, and quite coincidentally, because we've since found out that it's National Mental Health Month.
Yes, yes, and yes, I was received an email actually from Sal Prothero, who is a whole food nutrition expert, and she was talking about that, and I thought, oh, that's perfect because we've got Jim. We've got Jake.
Yes.
And
well, not only that, two wonderful men.
Yes.
And their names start with J.
I know. Well, then they must be good.
Yes, we had the Jake, Joe and Jim show.
Yes, yes. And Vicky. Oh dear, just got to be different, Vicky.
Yes.
So Sal talks a lot about depression and how it's affecting people, particularly at the moment, which is what we've been talking about, rates of suicide, anxiety with COVID, etc. And again, she was talking about food and about that, and she has 10 depression mythbusters, which I thought was good. So firstly, depression is a sign of weakness. Now, that is just, it's a condition like asthma, hypertension, diabetes. It's biological, environmental, but it's not, pretend. And it's not a sign of weakness. But I do think that's something that we, as a society, have certainly in the past. I'm hoping that now it's not the case, but, if you did have depression, and probably more for men than women, because women were seen as the weaker, in inverted commas, group.
Well, I think that's myth busting too.
Yes.
So, and anyone can get it. You can get depression from a poor diet, unhealthy gut microbiome, which we've just been talking about with Jake. The health of your gut microbiome is related to depression. Have food intolerances or sensitivities without you knowing. I think I see my husband suffer with that on a daily basis. Causes more inflammation in your body. So your hormonal health is connected, nutrient imbalances and or heavy metal toxicity, and you may have biochemical imbalance. A traumatic event like the pandemic can trigger depression. Social isolation, you may naturally be an introvert, but some social interaction helps with reducing depression. See, I found that. That's what I didn't realise for a while, but I do need to keep myself and push myself out sometimes.
Yes.
To be social. And I know it's hard at this time, and you may not want to reach out, but it really does help.
Yes. Yeah, and food doesn't help depression. Another myth. It does. We've just, for example, add a handful of spinach to your smoothie or snack on veggie sticks. I know a lot of people aren't particularly into vegetables, but just find a way. In fact, my grandson, who could be better at eating his vegetables, we've found that vegetables and peanut butter work with him.
Ah, yes.
So, celery or carrot, just put some peanut butter on there, he'll eat it.
Yum.
Yes. Yeah. You can only get depression after a traumatic event. Now, in my case, that's what happened for me, but a lot of people, it just happens, doesn't it? Yeah,
well, it did for me. And that was kind of, I blamed myself. I'm like, just be grateful, Vicky. Everything's fine. What's wrong with you? I couldn't understand why I was even feeling so low and unmotivated. Which,
of course, then leads to
more.
Yeah, it's a real, going down the rabbit hole thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So depression isn't an illness. It isn't a real illness, sorry. It's not a real illness. When you go to a conventional medical professional and they say it's all in your head, depression is a real illness and it has an effect on your thoughts, emotions and actions. And then, as Jo said, only women get depression. Men get depression too, but they don't tend to speak about it. And that's what they're going through. So in men, it's seen to be a sign of weakness because men are supposed to be macho, which is probably why we see those suicide rates higher in men.
Yes, and why Jim's doing what he's doing. That's right. Yes, yes. No, I won't go there.
All right. So medication is the only treatment for depression. So definitely not.
No.
As we've just been talking about, diet and lifestyle play a part, as well as...
And connection and, you know...
community.
Yes,
Community.
Yes. Just ask the Blue Zones.
Yeah, exactly. So... or kinesiologists, art therapy. Gosh, we've touched on all of that.
Yes,
at the moment in this show, everyone is different, and it's a matter of finding out what works best for you. And the other one,
it's too hard. And you know, it was perfect what Jake said, because it's just start with one small thing. Don't try and do it all. And you know. It can be hard if you look at the whole thing. It's very overwhelming. But if you just go, right, tomorrow I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk, and that's going to be my habit for the next 2 weeks is go for a 10-minute walk. We can all find 10 minutes. We can. So if that's our habit, we'll do that. And then, the next 2 weeks it might be, instead of eating chocolate after dinner, I'll eat, I don't know, hummus and crackers, or whatever. Or I won't eat anything or whatever. But, yeah, pick something that and then you stick to that habit. I really liked what Jake was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, actually one of those nice feeling things that my daughter and I are doing at the moment, we've been getting the chamomile and rose tea.
Yes.
From Prati, who we've interviewed, and having that at night.
I love that. Yeah, I have to remember, but I have to do it early enough that I'm then not getting up to go to the toilet at night.
Ah, yes.
That's so, yes, but I was having those. Thank you for reminding me, because I do love that tea.
And you always know when someone is depressed. Well, everyone suffers from depression in different ways, and many can hide their feelings.
Yes, yes. And people think you're lazy instead of depressed, so you don't need help.
So you're definitely not lazy.
Yes.
You want a normal life, and you desperately want to do the things you found joy in before, but you can't. It's so weird. All of a sudden, it just eludes you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it all of a sudden is back.
Yes.
So you're really tired and low in energy, not lazy. Yeah, that's certainly what I was feeling. But I think, looking back, I was in my 20s, so I think my diet I just was not aware of how my diet was affecting me. Yeah.
But I've certainly, seeing people with chronic pain or other things that are eating very, very well, that can then, of course, cause issues too.
Chronic pain just sucks the life out of you very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can have depression. You have depression for life. Depression can be treated, but you need to ask for help, and you need to want to break those bad habits. So again, diet, exercise, self-care, music, quotes.
Yes. I wrote that bit.
Yes.
The self-care came from Sal, and the rest came from me. And I told Sal, I said, Sal, we're going to talk about you and about your things that you're talking about depression and what can be done, and because I thought that was perfect. I thought that was a very good analogy of depression and what is and what it is and what it isn't. And, and that we can all have it.
We can all have it, and we can all do something about it.
Exactly.
Yes. So, and that's right. We're not all that different from each other, are we? Because we tend to feel alone, but. It's really, if we start talking about it, if we be brave and start talking about it, then all of a sudden we find others can very easily relate. And often, like we've been in personal development courses where we've spoken up, and after in the breaks, you feel famous, don't you? All of a sudden people are coming up to you and thanking you for saying, getting real.
Well, and the other thing with that same self-development course, that the being of human being, and that course is done in virtually every country. So it's the same for all of us. There is, yes, we're all different, but we're also all the same.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what do you call that, an oxymoron or something?
Yes, could be.
You've been listening to the Two Natural Ladies podcast. Visit twonaturalladies.com.au for more information. Thanks for joining us.